AMBIGA must be responsible for info on Sarawak report. Plus to receive 102 million ringgit a year for scrapping 2 tolls. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2 with me, RENEE FOONG. Former Malaysian Bar Council President Dato' S. AMBIGA must be bold and responsible in providing data and information to the editor of the Sarawak report, Claire Rewcastle-Brown, linking past top leader receiving money from Prime Minister Dato' Sri Najib Tun Razak. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said Dato' AMBIGA could not throw a stone and hide her hand on the matter by avoiding to meet the media.
Dari dahulu kita telah mengetahui sikap AMBIGA ini seorang yang hanya berani apabila berada di belakang dan tidak berani apabila berada di hadapan. Jika beliau mahu mengelakkan diri daripada ditemui oleh wartawan sama ada di halaman rumah atau di pejabat, artinya beliau tidak ada keberanian. Jika beliau ada keberanian, artinya dengan bukti yang diberikan kepada Sarawak Report, maka mereka harus menunjukkan bukti.
He said this after a working visit at the new Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security ICQS complex in Bukit Kayu Hitam today. Dato' Sri Ahmad Zahid, who is also the Home Minister, was commenting on the report in the portal, The Malaysian Insight, which exposed the reply and defence filed by Rewcastle-Brown by saying that she had spoken to Dato' AMBIGA in July 2016 on Dato' Sri Najib, One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB and PAS. It claimed that PAS had received a 90 million ringgit fund as a reward for supporting Barisan Nasional. The government will have to fork out around 102 million ringgit a year in compensation to highway operator Plus Malaysia Berhad, following the decision to end toll collections at the Batu Tiga and Sungai Rasau plazas, while an estimated 8 million ringgit will have to be paid out for abolishing the Bukit Kayu Hitam toll in Kedah. Second Finance Minister Dato' Sri Johari Abdul Ghani said the compensation for removing the toll at the Eastern Dispersal Link EDL in Johor will also be 8 million ringgit. He, however, did not state how long the compensation period was to be.
EDL Highway Johor, dia ni sebenarnya highway tu kerana kerajaan wujudkan road charges. Kita cah road charges RM20, jadi dia punya toll tu dah jadi redundant. Jadi we take over, then that one kita akan offset dengan kita punya road charges.
He said this after launching the National Tax Seminar 2017 organised by the Inland Revenue Board LHDN today. Police have crippled a drug syndicate with international links and seized more than 32.4 million ringgit worth of synthetic drugs, with 8 arrests made around Johor. They also seized cash and vehicles totaling more than 590,000 ringgit in the raids that were conducted in Johor Bahru Masai and Pasir Gudang on October 31st. Bukit Aman Narcotics CID Director Commissioner Dato' Sri Muhammad Saleh said a Singaporean man and a Vietnamese lady were among the suspects, while the rest were local men. He added that the suspects were part of a drug syndicate supplying drugs for the local Singaporean and Indonesian markets. The seizure included 51,750 ecstasy pills, 10.51 grams of shabu, as well as chemicals and drug processing equipment from a makeshift lab.
Makmal ni dijadikan ni merupakan satu bangsal bangsa yang berada di satu kawasan kebun sangatlah. Bukannya kawasan perumahan ataupun lot industri, tidak Dia di kawasan kelapa sawit lah. Satu kawasan di ini yang apa ni ditanami dengan pokok kelapa sawit. Dan ini merupakan bangsa yang disewa oleh sindiket daripada seorang orang tempatan.
Datuk Sri Mohamad said this at a media conference at the Johor Police Contingent Headquarters in Johor Bahru today. The suspects have been remanded for 7 days to assist with the investigation under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, which carries the mandatory death sentence if convicted. Customs officers arrested a Malaysian man and seized 2 packets containing 20 kilograms of ketamine valued at 900,000 ringgit soon after he arrived on a flight from Mumbai last month. Customs Deputy Director General of Enforcement and Compliance, Datuk Zulkifli Yahya, said the 37-year-old suspect was held at 10:45 a.m. on October 13th at the KL International Airport. Datuk Zulkifli said 2 packets containing a powder of a chocolate colour were found in the suspect's luggage, which the suspect said was turmeric powder bought at a supermarket in India to make an ingredient for a health drink.
ORDS ini menyatakan bahawa serbuk kuning ini adalah serbuk kunyit yang akan digunakan untuk proses membuat air untuk kesihatan. Dan apabila kita periksa, kita dapati ia adalah jenis ketamin.
The suspect, who is the owner of a karaoke centre, is being remanded for 14 days until November 6 to assist with the investigation under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, which carries mandatory death penalty if convicted. Datuk Zulkifli said the Customs Department is investigating whether the suspect is a drug mule. A fisherman, Muhammad Aznan Abdul Rashid, aged 40, from Pendang, Kedah, went missing after falling into the sea off the coast of Langkawi around 7 nautical miles southwest of Pulau Rebak Besar early today. Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA Langkawi Maritime District 1 Deputy Director Maritime Commander Nurul Lazmi Zakaria said the agency received a distress call from the boat's owner, sibling Goh Zhi Hao, at 8:25 a.m. today. He said MMEA then contacted the skipper and to alert them of the victim that fell into the sea while the boat was pulling a trawl. Following that, the search and rescue operation began using a boat and 5 personnel at 9 a.m. The search was focused in a 4-kilometer radius area from where the victim had fallen, and the SAR is still ongoing. Selangor ruler Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah is deeply angered and disappointed by Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamed's remarks calling Bugis descendants pirates during last month's anti-kleptocracy rally. Selangor Council of the Royal Court Secretary Hanafisa Jais issued a statement on behalf of the Sultan after a meeting earlier today. The Council and the Sultan agreed that Tun Dr. Mahathir's remarks allegedly describing Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak as a descendant of Bugis pirates was insulting to the Bugis community. Hanafisa said the veteran politician's remarks could spark hatred and prejudice against the Bugis community and was also an insult to Sultan Sharafuddin, who is a descendant of Bugis royalty. The Selangor Sultan reminded all parties, especially politicians, to refrain from using race and ancestry as a tool to garner support. Several parties representing the Bugis community in Malaysia and Indonesia have demanded Tun Mahathir to openly apologize over the issue. Coming up next, DFTZ goes live tomorrow.
Food Institute of Malaysia menawarkan program diploma seni kulineri, pastry dan bakery dan program hospitality. Dapatkan pendidikan berkualiti, jurang berpatutan, asrama percuma dan pinjaman disediakan. Layari www.fim.edu.my.
Welcome back. Malaysia's stride into the world of digital economy will become a reality when the visionary Digital Free Trade Zone DFTZ goes live tomorrow. The initiative, set to be the world's first DFTZ outside China, was launched on March 22nd, 2017 by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak together with Jack Ma, the founder and executive chairman of Alibaba Group. DFTZ is now ready to go live with the launch of its logistics operations, and Datuk Seri Najib will flag off more than 1,500 Malaysian small and medium enterprises SME for them to begin their export journey at a ceremony to be held at Sepang International Circuit. Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation MDEC Chief Executive Officer Datuk Yasmin Mahmud is confident DFTZ will boost Malaysia's e-commerce roadmap that was introduced in 2016, aimed to doubling the nation's e-commerce growth and increase the gross domestic product contribution to 211 billion ringgit by 2020.
DFTZ ini ialah untuk memberi gambaran kesinambungan yang kita lakukan. Daripada tak pernah buat apa-apa, tadi you all dengarkan, yang some of them tak pernah fikir online pun, sekarang dia orang fikir online. Dalam jangka masa yang begitu pendek, mereka dah boleh dapat berkali gandakan barangan Malaysia dan barangan mereka.
In the recent 2018 budget, Datuk Seri Najib announced that the first phase of DFTZ would see the participation of some 1,500 SMEs, and they were expected to attract 700 million ringgit worth of investments and create 2,500 jobs. Prasarana Malaysia Berhad launched the Senyum Mesra dan Ikhlas Layanan Efisien Smile program to improve the service quality of the company. Group Chief Executive Officer Datuk Seri Azmi Abdul Aziz believes that good service will increase the number of public transport users in Malaysia. For starters, the Smile program will be implemented on the Rapid Rail, Rapid Bus and Prasarana's auxiliary police teams.
There will be a series of events and all other events not related to this program will infuse this element of smile in that program as well. Example, let's say we have the WOW, kan? Yeah. Let's say we have the ongoing the WOW Fit. It's an exercise program, and we can exercise with smile. Although you are tired, you can still get yourself to smile.
Datuk Seri Azmi said this in a press conference at the launch of Smile today. At the event, he also presented letters of appointment to 10 Smile ambassadors and 10 Smile coaches, whom would be the main workforce in the carrying out the program. The Dewan Rakyat was told today that the flash floods on the federal highway near Angkasa Puri last Monday were triggered by an obstruction to the drainage system brought on by development activity nearby. Federal Territories Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor said the heavy rain then lasted 80 minutes and registered a rainfall of 86 millimeters compared to the usual 50 to 60 millimeters. Replying to a question during the minister's question time, he said the flooded stretch was under the purview of the Malaysian Highway Authority and the concessionaire was Sistem Penyuraian Trafik KL Barat Sdn Berhad Sprint.
Hasil daripada siasatan yang telah dijalankan dan dikenal pasti punca kejadian banjir kilat tersebut adalah kesan dari aktiviti pembangunan berhampiran, halangan kepada sistem saliran sedia ada dan hujan yang sangat lebat. Teman-teman yang berhormat, hujan lebat yang berlaku ini bersifat sementara, yang mana intensiti hujan pada waktu kejadian adalah selama 1 jam 20 minit dengan kadar hujan 86.55 mm. Kadar hujan lebat biasa adalah sekitar 50 mm ke 60 mm.
Datuk Seri Tengku Adnan said Kuala Lumpur City Hall had instructed the relevant parties to maintain the drainage system, including upgrading the drains in the area of the construction. The minister said it had also been asked to maintain the existing retention ponds to maintain the water level capacity and increase the number of silt traps and clean the existing drainage system in the vicinity of the construction area. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak today chaired a meeting of the National Level Wasatiyah Policy Implementation Coordinating Committee at Parliament House. The meeting was also attended by a minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Jamil Khair Baharom, Religious Advisor to the Prime Minister, Tan Sri Dr. Abdul Ahmad Zain, and Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Dr. Ali Hamza. Datuk Seri Najib heard a report on the policy implementation which contains 6 strategic areas, namely education and youth, economy and development, administration and legislation, unity and social, politics and nationhood, and security and defence. The report was tabled by Datuk Muhammad Yusof Din, Director of the Wasatiyah Institute of Malaysia in the Prime Minister's Department. He was also the Secretary of the meeting. Those who attended the meeting also presented their views and ideas to strengthen the national Wasatiyah policy for it to be implemented in a systematic and organised manner at all levels. The DAP-led Pulau Pinang government today tabled 2018 budget totaling 1.25 billion ringgit with a deficit of 748.5 million ringgit, up from the 667.1 million ringgit deficit in the 2017 budget. Despite the deficit, the government will give out a 2,000 ringgit bonus to all well-performing disciplined civil servants next month, while others will be given a minimum payout of 1,000 ringgit. Speaking at the State Assembly today, its Chief Minister Lim Guan Eng said all civil servants are eligible for the payout, including staff of the Pulau Pinang Island City Council, Seberang Perai Municipal Council and state statutory agencies. The earlier tabled budget was the 7th consecutive deficit budget for the state since 2011. The deficit has gone up compared with 667.10 million ringgit this year. The 2018 state budget is, however, lower than this year's budget of 1.45 billion ringgit, with the deficit going up by 81.5 million ringgit compared with this year. And that concludes this evening's news on 2. In a top story, AMBIGA must be responsible for info on Sarawak report. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm RENEE FOONG. Have a pleasant evening.